his lineage coming as men of old have sung. It came of the mid-bright, amid the cold of winter, when husband was the night.
live now, Mitch. Everyone. Oh, are you taking the audio out? We're live. Mitch, gotcha.
Is the audio live?
Is the audio on?
We're live?
Live.
Well, hello. We are not at Kingsbury Hall. We're not at Rose Wagner Theater. We are at my house. When we realized that we weren't going to be able to do a Christmas show this year, we started thinking about where we could do a show. We had thoughts of doing a barn in central Utah, a soundstage in Draper. And in the end, we just decided to use our rehearsal space, which is, I'll show you. It's just right up here where we do all of our rehearsing. There's our dinner. Guys are so quiet. This is Denny. Denny's playing trumpet, glockenspiel, sleigh bells, shaker, electric guitar, floor tom. We got Mike Ensign on bass as always, holding down the everything. And then David Tolk playing piano and keys tonight.
Welcome.
So I'm going to take this off. We're going to plug in, and we're going to get started right away. Denny, are you ready?
Si, señor.
Okay. Here we go.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strain. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
How we doing? Mike? Everything good? Okay, this is kind of a do-it-yourself, so we will just keep on plugging through until we hear. So Dave, so let's see, if I want to look at Dave, but we're Mitch, are we cubes right now? Are we in squares? So if I want to talk to Dave, I got to look left. And Dave, you got to look right, like the Brady Bunch. Yes. And if I look down, I'm looking at Mike. So we've been doing videos since March, virtually in music this way, and a lot of them have had that format of the cubes. But this is actually the first one that's live. We have some cutaway footage that's pre-recorded, but this is live. We're on holiday in my home studio. And we got a great crew helping us out here, so we're just very excited about this. So I did a radio interview about 2 weeks ago. It's like a pre-Christmas interview. And they asked me what's my earliest first memory of Christmas? David or Mike, what is your first earliest Christmas memory? I had to answer on the spot, like you.
I have to as well.
Right now.
I can remember. So we had pajamas that had built-in feet.
Yeah.
But we would continue to wear those even after we outgrew them, and my mom would just cut off the feet, and so your feet would just stick out the bottom. So I can remember coming down the stairs in those pajamas. Yeah. Yeah, they were like leopard, like kind of fuzzy pajamas, which was.
I think I've
nice.
seen a picture of that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Mine is. I remember Christmas trees, and I remember wanting to get in as far into the Christmas tree as I could get, like to bury my head and get completely lost in the world of that Christmas tree. That's one of my earliest memories. Another one is just staring at a candle, like the flame of a candle in a darkened room. And for some reason, I associate it with Carol the Bells. And so years ago, when I was asked to write a Christmas song, I just sort of mined all those memories, not those ones, but similar ones, and put this song together. This is called Christmas Eve Song.
Hear them ringing bells throughout the land. Hear the army and its salvation band. See the way an old film makes you cry. See the way a star can light up the sky by our little house in our little town. See the lights go down on Christmas Eve, and when I ask you, say you're still not asleep. See the big tree swaying back and forth. See the way an angel falls to the earth by our little house in our little town. And I won't say a word if you don't make a sound. Now go and see them come for miles. To come behold that little child. Don't you cry, everything's alright. Close your eyes, I'll see you through the night. Out on the road, see the shepherds run. Over the town, it's like the rising sun. I can see them come for miles. To come behold that little child. Don't you cry, everything's alright. Close your eyes, I'll see you through the night. Out on the road, see the shepherds run. Over the town, the rising sun. I think they might come. Yeah. And we'll go. Still I'll find my way back home. I know, and we'll go, 'cause everything around's aglow. I know, and we'll go, heaven help the lonely soul. I know now, and we'll go, 'cause everything I'll ever
So this is actually our first performance as a band since March 8th. Our last show was down at Tuacahn, and a week later everything shut down. All of the gigs we had set up for the summer, for the fall, within a 24-hour period got canceled. And we haven't done any performance since, at least as a band. And this is the only Christmas show that we're doing. So But we're happy to be doing it, and this has given us an opportunity to do something kind of unique, sort of an intimate living room. And we decided because COVID has hit some industries harder than ever, it's hit ours, that we decided we would do this and not charge, that this would be a free event. So regardless of people's circumstances, the point of the show has always been to just bring in the Christmas spirit. So we're not charging, but we are welcoming and inviting donations. I've had people all the first 3 days of this week email say we're going to watch, but we want to pay for tickets even though it's free. And so we've set up a Venmo account, and I think it's right over here, and we appreciate any support, even if it's a couple dollars. We appreciate it. There is some overhead with the show we've got to cover. So what's that?
Pizza money.
Yeah. And the other bad thing about this year is that we lost a member of our band, and the great Pat Campbell, who will never be replaced. So we decided to do the show without a drummer. We have a little bit of percussion, but nobody's going to sit in Pat's seat tonight. And this is a song that Pat used to start and used to just sort of shine on. So I think of Pat with this song. This is a song called "I Saw Three Ships." Saw the ships come sailing in on a Christmas day. I saw the ships come sailing in on a Christmas day in the morning. And what was in the ships, all three, and everyone came round to see. Hey! They sailed into Bethlehem on a Christmas day in the morning. They sailed into Bethlehem on a Christmas day in the morning. What was in the ships, all three, and everyone came round to see. And all the angels, they will come, and everybody calls, and the angels sigh with the stars in the sky, and they gathered around and they say, I saw the ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw the ships come sailing in. I saw the ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw the ships come sailing in. So, Danny, did you have Eddie the Elf growing up? Did Eddie the Elf come to your house?
I had no Eddie the Elf.
Yeah, I didn't have Eddie the Elf either. Did Eddie the Elf come in the 80s or the 90s? Did he come
no
later?
idea what you're talking about.
You know,
Who's Eddie
like
the
Elf on the Shelf. I guess.
Elf on the Shelf.
Sorry, he's Eddie the Elf at our
That's
house.
like 2000s kids, man.
2000.
I was picturing Eddie Van Halen. And I was like,
Eddie, Eddie the Elf.
yeah,
Rest in
Did you have Elf on the Shelf growing up?
we did not.
I didn't either.
Okay, so it's a little more recent, maybe.
It's newer.
Well, my daughter, my 10-year-old, she loves Eddie and Eddie the Elf.
Cool.
And she's always like waiting for December 1st. And at our house, Eddie doesn't show up till like the 4th. And Eddie likes to stay in the same place for 2 or 3 nights at a time because Eddie forgets.
Yeah, he's got short-term memory loss.
But I got a little. We found this letter. My 10-year-old daughter left this note just the other night for Eddie. Dear Eddie, I have some questions and some things you need to catch up on in school. I learned cursive, and my school teacher threw up, and I got tested for the corona. I have a question. Have you seen The Mandalorian? So good. You should watch it on Disney Plus. Then she asks a few other questions. So that's Eddie the Elf, or Elf on a Shelf. And I didn't have that experience growing up. However, I did have one experience that I've shared is that I used to fall asleep on the floor all the time growing up. And I think it was so common that nobody moved me. I'd wake up in 3 in the morning and I would drag myself up. And this song is inspired by one of those nights where it had somewhere between the time I fell asleep and the time I woke up in a darkened house, it had snowed. And I was the first one to see it. So years later, the song came. It's called Wake Up Little Child. 2, 3, 4. Snow fall down, fly away. Hear the bells calling out for Christmas Day as the fire fades so slowly, and the lights on the street, and an old man as he walks along will greet, say good night. I know this time around I get so slow. So wake up, little child, don't run, don't cry. It's quiet in the house tonight, where you can look around and see the snow is coming down, while everyone's asleep inside. Now I recall as a boy staring long at a painting that I love, where a mother held her baby, and I stared for a while, and I thought that I could hear that mother sigh, say good night, my love, way out beyond the stars. Oh, so wake up, little child, don't run, don't cry. It's quiet in the house tonight, where you can look around. It's like the snow is on the ground, while everyone's asleep inside. Oh, so wake up, little child, don't run, don't hide. It's quiet in the house tonight, where you can look around. It's like the angels coming down, while everyone's asleep inside. Oh, So a few years back, my family got to spend Christmas in Ireland, and it was rural Ireland, and then a little bit in England as well. And so ever since then, I've thought of this song a little bit because it was beautiful, but it was a different kind of Christmas. It wasn't snow. It was rain, and it was green fields and moody skies. So this is a song a friend of mine wrote, and he's not Irish, Ken Witzel, but the song sounds like Irish Christmas to me. So. It's called Too Cold a Stone.
Too cold a stone and too much time on my own. If I could see you from shore, I could wait here some more. Too cold a stone. Here we go. Hey. Too cold a stone. I stand in the shipyard alone, with the wind and the birds and the waves rushing on. Too cold a stone. He said if I could see her, I know I'd always love her, but the absence of her voice makes my heart stumble. Too cold a stone. I'm telling my story alone, with my hat in my hand. Now I look to the land. Too cold a stone. He said if I could see her, I know I'd always love her. If it takes 10 years, I'll give in to my will. Too cold a storm. Too much time on my own. If I could see you from shore, I could wait here some more. Too cold a stone to go. To go. To go. Stone. Too much time on my own now. I could see you from shore, I could wait here some more. My hat in my hand, now I look to the land. I see you from shore, I could wait here some more. My hat in my hand, now I look to the land. Now, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, we're going to pass the stage off to David Tolk. David's been with us since 1994, And since then, David's own music, really in the last 10 years, David's music has exploded on the online streaming world, in that world. And he's up to 300 billion streams, I think, right now.
That's pretty close.
Oh, how many? Is it 300 million yet?
300 million. Yeah.
300 million
Yeah.
streams. So we were looking at the countries where he's number one in his, he's got the most listens in the US, and it's gone way up since COVID, right? Because people need to be calmed down. It's peaceful.
That is correct.
Number 2 was Canada, and then number 3 was Australia, Singapore.
Yeah.
UAE,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
there.
Qatar,
Huge in the Middle East.
Guitar.
acoustic
Qatar.
Qatar.
So we would think it would be crazy to have David here and not have him do one of his songs off one of his Christmas albums. So David can explain this one, but ladies and gentlemen, David Tolk.
Thank you very much. So a few years back, my son Brendan was over in the UK. He was in Scotland and Ireland for a couple of years, and I remember one of the years that he was there, he was in Edinburgh. I used to think it was Edinburgh, but now I think it's Edinburgh. Is that right, Pete?
There's 3 phases. There's Edinburgh, and then there's Edinburgh, and then Edinburgh.
Okay.
So you've
I'm somewhere in there, Edinburgh. But we missed Brendan when he was gone, and I thought about on Christmas Day how cool it would be. In the old European cities, they've got the big old churches and cathedrals and ringing the bells on Christmas Day. This arrangement of Carol of the Bells became more special for me while he was on his mission, and I was thinking about maybe that there was a chance that he would actually hear Christmas bells on Christmas Day. So wanted to share this with you tonight. This is Carol of the Bells. Thank you very much. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for clapping, guys.
Encore.
Well, here's a song that's always been a war song. This is about a soldier, and he's dying on the battlefield, and it for some reason it has always felt like it belongs in the Christmas show. So it's a war song, but it's a Christmas song as well. And I think some of the most stirring images that we have are both Christmas and war images. And this is called Edwin's Tale, 1862.
I can see the lights go down on Bethel town, and I can see the banners fly tonight, and somewhere out a cannon's lighting up the sky, as everything around me fades to white, and I saw on high an angel fly, and looking down upon me there, the stars tonight light up the sky, and everything is quiet, but don't take me wrong. And as I'm down here watching, I can't breathe at all. I can't breathe at all. I can't breathe at all. Thomas, I don't know what will become of me. I haven't ever seen this sort of thing, and I haven't ever felt so many miles away, and everything I know I keep it in. And I heard a sound and looked around, but everyone was quiet. Then from on high an angel choir, 8,000,000 voices singing, don't take me wrong. And as I'm down here listening, I can't breathe at all. I can't breathe at all. I can't breathe at all. But there's someone singing songs out there tonight. La la, ha la 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 la, ha la 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 la, ha la 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 la. Oh, 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 oh. Ha la 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 la, ha la 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 la, ha la 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 la. And still I'll get home when there's nothing but songs, and there's nothing but songs in my head, in my head, in my head.
It's Edwin's Tale, 1862. So we wanted to take a moment to just spotlight and acknowledge the guys behind the scenes that are making this happen. So Matt is on the camera, so you can't see him, but he's filming Mitch. Mitch, wave to the camera.
Give us a selfie. Come on.
And next to Mitch, we got Robin Seville. He's helping produce tonight. We go way back. And then Matt, I don't know if you want to turn the camera on yourself, but Matt has put in long nights here making this happen. So everybody, round of applause. You're pretty good at that. And we'd like to also thank our good friend Christiane Cox, who, and along with my wife, the two of them put this room into great shape and made it look very festive. And they always do a great job. Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella. Bring a torch, come sweetly run. Christ is born, good folk of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Oh, how beautiful is the mother. Oh, how beautiful is the son. Hasten now, good folk of the village, hasten now, a child to see. You will find him asleep in the manger. Quietly come and whisper softly, hush, hush. Peacefully now he slumbers, hush, hush. Peacefully now he dreams. Softly to the little stable, softly in a moment come. Look and see how charming is Jesus, how he is sweet. His cheeks are rosy, hush, hush. See how the child is sleeping, hush, hush. See how he smiles in his dream. Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella. Bring a torch, come sweetly run. Christ is born, good folk of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Oh, how beautiful is the mother. Oh, how beautiful is the son. Torch. Denny, you're rocking it. Denny, where did you come from? I mean, you play everything.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
We met Denny a year ago. How'd we meet?
Arizona. Oh, through Jacob Allen. No, not Jacob Allen. Andy Allen.
Yep.
I grew up with a guy named Jacob Allen. Andy Allen. And I used to play in his little group.
Yeah, I called him and I said I need a trumpet player, and he said I got just the guy.
What a songwriter, though, right?
Oh yeah, he's terrific.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this about Denny. Denny not only plays everything, but he's like the #1 snowboarder in the world, right?
Oh, not anymore. I went the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm a little rusty.
But you were in your day. You were
In my
sponsored.
heyday,
You
I
were
wasn't
competing,
I wasn't too bad back then.
and you're a pretty good surfer too.
Not as good at surfing. Skating, I'm pretty good at.
Okay, all right, skating. Well, and then so Denny, we love Denny, and then Mike here, who kind of kicked this off. 1993, we met at the University of Utah, and he's been like the steady influence for us. So thank you, Mike.
And I'm not on my phone the whole time.
No, he's mixing.
I'm actually mixing, and I've got people texting me that, you need to turn this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I need to look at my phone
Yes.
and see how to mix.
So if you've got any requests, if you've got any tweaks you'd like to in the sound mix at home, just text Mike.
Mike, I want you to be here. I know you're here, but I want you to be here.
Here? Okay.
Yeah.
We need you to be present.
Yeah.
Christmas present.
So
Nice.
two things before we launch into this next song. We want to remind you that while we're offering this for free, we appreciate any support that you're willing to offer. Venmo, it's at Peter Breinholt, and even if it's just a few bucks, if it's the price of a ticket, whatever you want, it helps us quite a bit, and hopefully it does in such a way that if this COVID thing doesn't clear up, we, in the next few months, we can do it again. So we appreciate our audience. We really appreciate the people who pay every year to come see us live and keep that show at the Rose Wagner going. And we appreciate any of you tonight doing the same thing. So, Mike, you just got a text.
Yeah, let's see.
Tell Pete to stop talking about donating.
Now everybody's texting me.
So the other thing I'd like to say is that when COVID struck, we immediately stopped performing. And so I started posting virtual performances. You can go to our YouTube page and Facebook and see all the songs we've done. It's been so fun. I've really enjoyed that. But by far and away, the most popular one that we did was one where I thought, I'm going to see if I can find every single string player who has performed with us through the years since 1994 on. And I had a list that came up with, I think, 30, 28, 30. And I started calling, and we got every one of them but two, I think. And they all came back, sent me their videos, and we took this old song from our first album, and it's like a big reunion online. And it was awesome. It was awesome for me to see all their faces again and reconnect with all of them. And so this is a shout out to all of our string players. They're all over. They're in New Mexico. They're in California. They're back east.
Did you say New Mexico?
They're in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Heidi's in New Mexico. Judge Heidi. If you're watching, Heidi, New Mexico. So we lay here to rest, and so we lay here with the ground beneath our heads, and not a word among us has been said, my little child. And now the dogs are barking tonight, and now the men will bargain as they sell beneath the lights. Everything gets colder here at night, my little child. I've never been so worn and weary. I've never missed my love so dearly. My little child.
forget the wings I saw, and I cannot forget the way they gathered in the halls, and standing all alone before them all, my little child. And somewhere there is a laughter tonight, and somewhere there is singing in a choir in the light, but it's quiet in Jerusalem tonight, and it's quiet in Jerusalem tonight. It's quiet in Jerusalem tonight, my little child. I've never been so worn and weary. I've never missed my love so dearly. My little child. And so we lay here to rest, and so we lay here with the ground beneath our heads, and not a word among us has been said, my little child, my little child, my little child. Thanks to all you string players as you're watching. We called it the Big Parade Pandemic Orchestra.
Sounded fantastic.
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 So normally on this next song, which is typically our last song, but not tonight, we have, this is Silent Night. We have the audience sing the last verse. Obviously, you're welcome at home to join us, but we can't hear you. So we've asked the Rise Up Children's Choir to take your part. And they're a great choir who helped us just 2 months ago put a little video together. And Amy and Gary in particular are so helpful. So thanks to the Rise Up Children's Choir. This is Silent Night. Silent night, Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace, and oh, do do do. The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 Noel.
Holy night, all is calm, all is right. Round young virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly
Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. No, the first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay. Store of wonder, store of night, star of royal beauty bright. Hush, hush, see how the child is sleeping. Hush, see how he smiles in haste, haste to bring him light. This is Christ, the joy to the world, joy to the world. Sleep in heavenly peace, and oh, and we sleep in heavenly peace, and oh, oh, oh. Sleep in heavenly peace. Well, like I said, typically that is the last song of the night. It's hard to follow Silent Night. It's a song that kind of wants the last word. But we're going to do one more. And the reason why is if Silent Night is kind of a celebration of the Silent Night, a Christmas song,
we want to send you off with at least a happy new year, or at very least a better year, a better year than last year, than this year. And one of the things I think we've all been hearing and noticing is as people have been coping with different things, that gratitude is a very powerful thing to have in a time like this. Because you can have a lot taken away, and a lot of people have had a lot taken away. But if we just try to steer our thoughts to the things we do have, it just makes us feel better. So this is a song I wrote about gratitude, about thinking about those things. So this is our happy new year. Here's to a better 2021. And one last time, we appreciate everybody's support. There's a Venmo account if you want to show your support to us. And it just means the world to us that everybody is so interested. We got so many inquiries about whether this show was happening this year. So I'm glad we got it to happen. I'm glad Denny could make it, and Mike, and Dave, and Mitch, and Robin, and Matt, Christiane and Becca, all the string players. And this is it for us. So have a happy holidays.
It's been said that to live is to sorrow. It's been said that there's no room for tomorrow. So men stand there and stare at the twilight, and they work out each day as it seems right. And oh, I knew you would come, so I said, hallelujah, my love. And I think now, all this time has been on this road. And what about all the September moons? And what about flowers in June? And what about all the times that I sit here and wonder? And I could be wrong for believing this way, and I could be wrong every hour of each day. And I think about every moment that I can remember. And they say that the silence is worth gold. And they say every young man must grow old. So we work and we reason our times. Still it's quiet all around me here sometimes. Oh, I knew this would be, and I said, but there is so much to see. And I think now, all this time has been passing by. And what about all the mountains in spring? And what about every choir that sings? And what about every mother that holds a new child? And I think about all the times as a child when I couldn't keep from laughing out aloud. And to catch myself, I won't go out and stay there a while. And all this could have passed me by, standing lonely all this while. Oh, and what about all the mountains indeed? And what about every child that sleeps? And what about every mother that holds a new child? And I think about all the times as a child when I couldn't keep from laughing out loud, and to catch myself I would go out and stay there a while. And what about all the September moons, and what about all the flowers in June, and what about all the times that I sit here and wonder? And I could be wrong for believing this way, and I could be wrong every hour of each day, and I think about all the times that I sit here and wonder. All the times that I sit here and wonder. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Happy New Year. And thank you so much for joining us, and to the band as well.